Welcome back. Talking about the musical instruments that I use. This is the Yamaha FG-200 acoustic guitar. Of all the guitars that I use, this one I've probably gotten the most use out of. This guitar actually isn't even mine. We bought this back in 1992 for Kristen. She had wanted to pick up guitar and never quite latched onto it, but she was gracious enough to let me borrow it for these 20 plus years. It is very enjoyable to play, and it's got this great booming sound. Really, for the money, I feel like you can't beat a good Yamaha for sound. When the FG-200 was introduced in the early 70s, this was actually considered a budget model. It still to this day is considered a budget model. In doing research for the guitar, though, I found that there's a lot of people out there who are big fans of this guitar and still look for it on the used market, where it doesn't command a whole lot of money, but we'll see how long that lasts, because it's really a secret weapon, I'm thinking, for most people. Now, this particular model was either built in 1973 or 1983. Serial numbers on Yamahas from this particular Korean factory repeat every decade. Now, I've put a lot of wear and tear on this guitar, obviously. I tend to strum pretty hard, and so I've got a lot of pits and grooves below and above the sound hole. This could really use a refretting. I've really worn down and pitted and grooved the top 7 frets, and I think that kills some of the tone that this guitar used to have. Still has a great tone, though. Done some work. This used to have sealed chrome tuners, kind of a brushed matte chrome. I replaced them with some gold Grovers, still sealed. This is actually the 3rd set of bridge pins that I've had on this guitar. I think the originals were plastic, and I had some brass ones on for a while. Really kind of gave it a harsh sound. These are genuine bone. Really gives it a sweet, sustaining sound, a nice ring. If I ever play at small venues, this is my go-to guitar, especially if there's no electricity. The guitar really projects well, sometimes too well. I really have to make sure that my voice is heard over top of it sometimes. Now, you know this guitar probably most obviously from a lot of the early songs, particularly On the Patio. Hanging out on the patio, watching clouds and blowing trees. Life falls heavy on my head, and I can't find the cash to eat or pay the rent. Most recently, it plays a starring role at the end of my latest album on a song called The Choice. With many windows one cannot see in, to see what's been or what's to become. A few years ago, I dropped the E, below E, down to a D, what they call drop D tuning. Gives you this kind of neat, gnarly bottom end for particular keys, the key of D, obviously. And I used it like that on See You Soon. Anyway, I'm really glad that we never got rid of this guitar and that Kristen's let me keep it for all these years. It's been a very faithful companion, probably my best friend among musical instruments, and I do have a lot of friends. The Yamaha FG-200.